guys, we have been snowed in the last few days. I think we're going to get out today. I'm excited, but I don't know where you're watching from. I would love to know what kind of weather you're experiencing right now. It's been crazy, but the last week I posted a video about how I had experienced a lot of pain and symptoms after an argument with my spouse. And so today I want to follow up on that. I want to talk about how I'm feeling now. I want to talk about what helped me to get through it and how emotional and relational stress can directly affect your nervous system and your health. I also want to take a minute and mention that on that short that I put last week, there was a comment that was somebody left, and her story was so incredibly powerful and heartbreaking that I can't help but to mention it here on this video. She shared about how she had been in an abusive relationship for many years and how it took a real physical toll on her body for over a decade. And she talked about how she spent a year in a wheelchair because of the physical toll that emotional and relational stress took. And I love that she attributed her gratefulness to God and how she was so thankful for his grace helping her through it. So if that's you and you're watching today, I just want you to know my heart does go out to you, and I have so much compassion for you. I cannot even imagine what you might be dealing with, because honestly, I have a great marriage and not everybody has that. Of course, we haven't had a perfect marriage. No marriage is perfect, but the particular argument that we had last week was just a one-off thing. It was one argument, and honestly, it was probably more my fault than it was his. It was just a one-off situation, but in the middle of that argument, I started getting a real headache, and by the next day, I had a rash going down my side, nerve pain in my face again, and so I was standing in the shower trying to figure out, why is my side hurting? And that's when I realized there was a real emotional moment the night before. And so you can imagine what living in constant stress can do to the body, whether that's relational, whether that's financial stress or work stress or ongoing emotional pressure. All of these things can create real physical symptoms, real physical pain. And a lot of people are wondering, why am I dealing with all this pain? Why the doctors can't figure out? So, in the past, I would experience a flare like this and I would spiral. I would think, great, here we go again. I'm going to be messed up for weeks. But now, after learning how the nervous system works, after going through pain reprocessing work, getting certified in that, I have learned to recognize those patterns. And I want you to be able to recognize that. I want you to be able to learn how to do that as well. So when symptoms show up, we start asking ourselves, okay, was there something stressful happening? Was there an emotional trigger? Most of the time, the answer is yes, most of the time. Stress, fear, anger, resentment, there's frustrations, maybe there's bitterness. These kind of emotions really will manifest as physical pain in the body or just symptoms in general. I had tons of symptoms. So instead of panicking, I focused on calming my nervous system the next day. I was like, okay, I recognize it, so I slowed down. I rested, hydrated. I ate some anti-inflammatory foods. I got my nails done. See, I had coffee with a friend, and most importantly, hear me on this, I spent time in the presence of God. We have to intentionally move our bodies out of that fight-flight response and into rest and digest. So what does that look like? I think it's different for each person because we're bio-individual. We are all different. Because what relaxes me may not relax you. Some people love to go to the gym, whereas I hate the gym. I love being outside. Other people love quiet time or music or journaling or just going on a walk or just being with friends. So you got to figure out what works for you. I definitely think hydration, reducing inflammation, resting, and connecting with God are the huge components to getting your body moved into that rest and digest, because there's nothing that calms your nervous system more than being in the presence of God. And some days that's easy to do, and some days it's hard because life is busy, life is noisy, right? But we have to be intentional to silence the noise and make space to hear God's voice, whether that be through worship or prayer or just getting into his word. And some days I don't honestly even feel like reading the Bible, and I know that you can probably relate to that. So some days I just turn on the worship music and I just sit in his presence and I just talk to him. Because here's the thing, singing and worship are powerful for calming your nervous system. And I have another video on that I can maybe link. But you have to find what helps you to reset and rest. And for me, by the evening, my rash was gone. I was feeling so much better. And it was just another reminder of how powerful this mind-body connection is. And I want to speak especially to those who may be in difficult dating relationships. I'm thankful for my marriage, but I have learned how important it is to have God at the center of our marriage. And we made that commitment early on, and I'm so thankful for that. And if your relationship is hard right now, I'm going to tell you, marriage won't magically fix that. It usually magnifies it. So pray for a godly spouse. Seek God first, because when our relationship with Him is strong, you're going to have clarity of mind. But when we ignore Him and we go our own way, that's when things get messy. So take some time, silence the noise, get into God's Word, ask Him to guide you, because relationships matter way more than we realize, and they impact our health so much more than often we understand. I'm going to be hosting the Emotionally Healthy Relationships course inside of my Fight for Our Health community very soon. Right now, we're about to start the Emotionally Healthy Spirituality, but that community is basically a space for people who are needing to experience healing, and whatever that looks like. And it's a very small space right now. We literally just opened it up, and that's okay. But if you're interested in being a part of that, just comment, message me, let me know, and I would love to send you the link. Because honestly, my heart is just to help you avoid the same struggles that I went through, and to understand that sometimes pain and symptoms are not random. They're connected to stress, they're connected to emotions, and it's the brain just trying to protect you, honestly. And if the doctors can't figure out what's wrong, it might be worth asking yourself, okay, is there something emotional or relational that's going on beneath the surface? So anyway, I hope this video has helped you in some way. I am here for you. I am believing, and I hope that you're believing, that 2026 is going to be a year of healing for so many people, including you. For families, relationships. I want to see healing, and I want to hear your testimony. I love reading the comments whenever you share your stories or your testimonies, so comment below. God bless you. I'm going to see you on the next video, where I'm going to be talking about why your body needs to feel safe in order to heal.